I will. So, I don't have a girlfriend anymore. I'm single. No, fuck her. You don't know her. Not all that. She could have been a terrible human being. Maybe I'm way better off. You have no idea. Maybe. I don't have a girlfriend anymore. And, you know, you'd think there are a couple things I miss, and you think they'd be, you know, like cuddling and like the nice parts of the relationship. But what I really miss is having her with me when I would go to buy condoms. It sounds weird, but it's a really awkward experience because, you know, looking at me, I'm a pretty nerdy guy. I remember every time I'd put the condom case down on the counter, the dude behind the counter would always be like, really? Come on. I know what you think is going to happen and what's really going to happen, but I think the best part is whenever I'd buy condoms, I'd always bring my girlfriend with me if we were there, and I'd be like, it's my condoms because you're here, it's good. And I'd be like, put the condom box on the counter, and I'd be like, these are for her. And me. I'm going to put my wiener in those. So the other day, a friend came up to me, and we were walking along for a little while, right? And it smelled as if he'd passed gas, you know? And I was like, hey dude, did you fart? And it's always the same response to the question. It's always the same, you know, no, why? Because it fucking stinks, dude. Why else would I ask that question? You know, it's never just curious, you know, like, dude, did you fart? No, why? Just curious. Just want to know about your life, you know? Anyway, speaking of Eric, he actually came up to me after the show not too long ago, and he was like, oh my god, dude, you're a comedian. I bet you get a lot of girls. It's like, no. Not at all. I've never had a girl, and if you're the first one to do this, any of these beautiful ladies in the front row after the show, I'll commend you. But I've never had a lady come up to me after a show and was just like, Freddie, the way you talked about your dick on stage for 2 minutes, so hot. It never works. In fact, most conversations with girls after the show are very different. It's usually like, hey, you're so funny. And I'm like, oh, can I buy you a drink? No. A friend of mine, I was walking along, also walking, and they came up to me and they're like, oh, they like leaned over and they're like, oh, you smell nice. As if they were surprised. And I got upset and I was like, fuck you. Why can't I smell nice automatically? You know, just for once I want someone to lean over and just be like, it's good, it's what I expected. Can I put this here? I don't feel like holding this beer anymore. I feel like I need something else. I'm gonna hold this. Blue Moon. Fucking delicious. So, a lot of my friends are having babies, and I met a baby the other day. I don't care. Why is that funny? Can you say you met a baby? I don't think you can, because they're not people, right? Not yet. Because, you know, I don't really know if you can say you've met something if it doesn't know its name, you know? Like, if I went up to you, sir, and I was like, hi, my name's Freddie, and you were just like, and shit your pants? I can't say I met you. But every once in a while you see a baby that it gives you a look that is more mature than its age, you know what I mean? So I was looking at this baby and it was like trying to hold its head up, and then out of nowhere it was just like, I was like, who the fuck are you? I was like, are you judging me? I was like, you're shitting your pants. I was like, your dick is this big. And I waited for his mom to leave her, and I was like, I fucked your mother. How does it make you feel? And then I realized I was way too drunk to be holding that baby. And this weird situation happened to me the other day, and a situation I never was put in before, right? Me and a girl were getting a little frisky, and we were both kind of drunk, and she was laying in my bed, and she goes, just as a non sequitur, my hair is so soft. And me being awkward, my first response was trying to push things further. I was like, well, that's great, because I test how soft things are by putting my balls on them. And the weirdest part was she was like, okay. So I was caught in this weird situation where I was like, how long do I do? I just like dip it, or do I hold it? Do I rub it? I didn't know what to do. And then I got like self-conscious, and I was like, hold on a minute. You said okay a little too quick. How many other balls have you had in your hair? I actually started talking to my ex-girlfriend again, which if anybody has ever done that is a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake. Because it becomes a huge, big one-upping game, as you probably all know, between, you know, who has the better partner now. So I remember I was talking to my ex-girlfriend, and I was like, oh, this new girl I'm seeing, she's great. She's got a master's degree in psychology. She teaches ballet. And my ex-girlfriend was like, the dude I'm seeing now has a much bigger dick than you. And I was like, fuck you bitch, you win! Again, my little sister is in the DARE program. She's pretty young. She came up to me one day, And she was like, Freddie, what is your anti-drug? And I was like, it took me a little while to figure out the answer, and I was like, I think my anti-drug is sleep. It's really hard to take more drugs when you're unconscious. And it's like a level 17 drug taker. And you can take them. That'd be great. Wouldn't it be really funny if you're like, dude, what the fuck did I do last night? And your buddy had a phone, and he's like, you fucking shut up while you were sleeping. It was incredible. I got slept high. So I was on the subway, and it's late at night, it's like 3 a.m., and there's a full car, empty car, right? And I'm like, oh great, there's an empty car, I can sit down, right? But the moment I go onto the empty car, you know why it's empty. You get this smell, they know. You get the smell of like sweaty balls and like cheese poops, and you're like, oh god. And it's like a Walking Dead episode, the homeless people are like, they have you at that point, you're fucked. There's no way. So this guy starts yelling on the train. Immediately he yells, get the fuck off the train! And I'm like it's moving, can't do that, homeless man. I'm very scared right now. Yeah, so he was being really weird, he kept looking at him, and all of a sudden he stands up and he goes, yeah, this is gonna happen now! And I was like, what's gonna happen? I didn't know. But he took his dick out, and he didn't start masturbating, but he just like started playing with it in his hands, like awkwardly. And I was like, that's a really weird punishment for looking at someone. I don't know how you guys were raised, but my dad never came home from work and was like, kids, this house is a mess! Fuck, well this is gonna happen now, kids, I'm sorry. It's the only way you're gonna learn. Yeah. But I thought about the situation, because I had a girl with me too, I didn't want to look weird, I felt like I had to protect her, but what do? You know, I feel like the only way I can win in this situation is if I out crazy him, you know what I mean? If I start whipping my dick out, we just both start going at it. You know? Like Thunderdome, it's like Mad Max shit in there, you know? Yeah, 2 men enter, 1 man finishes.